like neck and rib injuries. So I just don't know how durable he is. If he's going to be the number one guy, I mean, he's going into camp and all the spotlight's on the Jets. So he knows that, you know, this is their season and they're making a big push. So I would expect him to be as good as he can be health-wise. But if he's dinged up a little bit, I mean, you know, maybe bump him down. But right now he's going probably 15 to 18 off the board. It's like the 10th or 11th running back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's probably about right. There's upside to that. But again, if he's slow and he's dinged up in training camp, there could be downside. I'm high on him. And if he has a good training camp, I think that, you know, if you get him 15th, 18th off the board, I think he can probably surpass that in his production.
I have him as the 16th running back. I bumped him down just a little bit just because he doesn't have a cushion of – he's got hands of stone, man. He cannot catch the football. Every time they threw him the football, he was just like, oh, they're throwing me the football. And he didn't have a catch last year. No receptions.
Well, let's say this. The Jets had 607 rushes last year.
Yep.
Carolina had 525. Miami had 509.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets were 100 rushes, like what's that, 17, 18% above third place. And there's 32 teams we know.
Oh, yes.
You know, I'm not worried about him catching the ball. That's what Tomlinson's there for. That's what Keller's there for. That's what Santonio Holmes is now there for. So, yeah, let him just smash it down their throat.
I hear you. All right, well, thanks for calling in.
You got any sleepers on the Jets? You want to?
Well, you know, it's funny. I mean, I think that, you know, McKnight, if one of Tomlinson or Green kind of doesn't, you know, pan out where the injuries are dinging them up or you know, they're off the field, McKnight is going to be a kick returner. If you got the Jets' defense and special teams, he may add a little something to that, too, from a kick returner. If he jumps in like a Leon Washington role, I think, from, 2008, he might not be a bad pick, you know, in the 18th, 19th round when people are taking their kickers and defenses. You know, just watch him in training camp.
Yeah, you know, you host the Bengals on Thanksgiving. I'm serious. That's not. You have to look at that on the schedule. And then you've got, in Week 14, you've got the Miami Dolphins at home in your place. And then you go to Pittsburgh, and then you go to Chicago. Two ugly places to play, but that could be good for your sled dog running back, Sean Green, in the snow in Pittsburgh and in Chicago.
What I like about Green this year, I think if he gets off healthy, if he stays healthy, if he gets out of the gates good, the Jets' rushing offense and their defense is good enough where I don't care who they're playing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, schedule doesn't make a difference. You just plug them in, and they're going to run the ball on people's throats this year.
That offensive line is excellent.
Yep.
All right, Commissioner, thank you for the call.
All right, boys, I'm out.
All right. That was Craig Deep.
The Deepster.
A commissioner and a Facebook correspondent.
So let's get to Jacksonville, and then we're going to take a caller.
Sure.
Maurice Jones-Drew is your true running back number one. You're going to either take him first or second in your league, whether it's a PPR or not. I like him number one in a PPR league. In every game last season, Maurice Jones-Drew either scored a touchdown, had 5 receptions, or rushed for at least 60 yards. That's the guy you want on your fantasy team. In every game, he did one of those things.
That's amazing.
Right? He did, and some games he did 2 out of those 3. But it's reasons like that to make Maurice Jones-Drew a top 3 pick in all leagues, in all formats. Now he's proved he could handle the workload, and he doubled his workload from his previous seasons to last year when Fred Taylor left and went to New England. Now, our question is, can he do it again?
Right.
And if he can't do it again, there are some guys on the roster who could pick up the slack. There's Rashad Jennings, who you know I love.
Yes.
And I loved him last year, too. He's a bigger back. He did a nice job last year. He averaged over 5 yards a carry with his 39 touches. And he has an NFL pedigree. His dad was in the league. He's the main backup. Although the Jaguars, they drafted this young fella, Deji Kareem from Southern Illinois, as a third down back kick returner guy. And he has a similar skill set as Maurice Jones-Drew, but he's not as versatile as Maurice Jones-Drew. And if Maurice Jones-Drew, God forbid, goes down, for you Jacksonville Jaguar fans, these guys, they would probably use them in tandem.
All right, I have a question for you, because in fantasy football, the numbers and the stats don't lie about Maurice Jones-Drew. But on the other hand, Jack Del Rio is coaching for his life this year.
Sure.
So is he going to just ride Jones-Drew, which I think he's going to. He has to. He has no choice.
He has to. I mean, David Garrard also runs the football too, but they need a receiver to step up. They need another guy to step up. But when we get to receivers, we're going to really delve into those.
You can't go wrong with picking Jones-Drew. You just can't.
No.
Because you know that it's almost their hand is forced. He's that good. They got to use him if they want to have any sniff of the playoffs at all.
The play that he had against the Jets when he went down on the 1 to kill some clock to win the football game, that was a winning move. And if you have him in your fantasy league, you're mad because he didn't just go in and score the touchdown, but that's a winning move. He's a winning player. They have Week 14, Oakland, and then at Indy, and then they host Washington, which could be fun.
Yeah.
For your championship with Maurice Jones-Drew.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a call. We have a call on line 6. It's Buster from California, who listens and is a loyal fan of 32 Teams, the real fantasy football show on chataboutit.com. Don't forget, you can call in at 877-CHAT-212. Buster, how are you tonight?
Great. How are you fellas?
Excellent.
Good.